You're with the 26th Black Night Film Festival, and welcome to PÖFF TV. We are at the segment of Meet the Filmmakers, and today we are discussing about a film which is very carefully crafted, and the film also is in the first feature competition, a film called The Hatchers from Poland, and we have the director with us, Grzegorz Mołda.
Yes.
Welcome, Grzegorz.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. It's your first time in PÖFF, so how do you find the festival and the Tallinn city?
Tallinn city always is really beautiful, but pretty cold.
Yeah.
Like in our country already. But it's really nice. A lot of films, a lot of directors, and it's really nice after the COVID and, pandemic. We can again share our experiences and talk about the films. And for me, it's really important to meet up in cinema, because especially during the pandemic, everybody, I think, too much stay at home and watching content in even on smartphones, on TV. But still, I think the cinema is the place to to experience the movies. So I really like return to the cinema.
Right. So let's before getting into your new film, let's try to find the path. You had your previous short film, Time to Go. It was in the competition in Festival de Cannes in 2017, and then you move into this film. So what was your journey from there to making your first feature?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Time to Go it was 5 years ago, and it was an amazing experience because it was my first film festival with the film like a filmmaker ever. So it was really stressful, and also on the other hand it was really bad experience also because I was really young, and I was after the school, and after the Cannes I was like, oh my god, I don't know what I would like to do next film.
It's like you got to see so many things around.
Yes, a lot of pressure also myself. So it's like 1 year I spent without anything making. I working on totally different industry, and after that I spent 1 year in making a series in television in Poland, and after that I feel something to make a debut feature film, and it was experience from my house, overprotective mother, and I felt it's a main struggle, main clue I would like to develop in debut feature. So it was the first thought. And also on the other hand, when I was in film school, I tried to make a documentary about training apartment in Warsaw, the places where people like homeless people or people after the jail, they try to make a new life. But in the film school, I realized I don't want to make a documentary for many reasons. Maybe I'm not skills in that type of storytelling, but I really like documentary, especially Polish documentary filmmakers from the 60s and from the 70s, because it was very creative way to make a documentary. So it was these two things: one, training apartment, and my feeling overprotective relationship, with somebody, with your mother, or even if your partner or something. So it was the journey from the Cannes to the debut feature and to the Euro Festival.
Yeah, and this even the subject wise, I could link some dots from your previous film. It's like previous film it's like you're outside the prison, but you have a story within, and here you're inside. So was there any your special connection about this whole you want to build a story around this kind of subjects?
Yeah, definitely, because when I was make a short film from my film school, I found this topic of training apartments. So I was researching jail topics. So yes, definitely it's a link. And also in every film, even it will be, I don't know, romantic comedy or western or sci-fi, I would like to focus on relationship and focus on the human being, let's say. So it's like maybe the link between short film and this debut feature film. I really like the really heavy struggle and tension between characters. So
Right.
I think maybe that's the way to
Yeah,
tell
and
a
the other interesting part which I saw, like, you know, like from again, like, you know, the style that you use to tell this story, like very carefully crafted shots, and like, you know, you hardly have any movements with your camera, and also, like, you know, the film looks like, you know, you've almost shot with like one lens and, like, you know, a single
yeah.
perspective of this, like, you know, very subjective perspective that you bring. So, like, what was your discussion with your DP, and like, you know, how did you crafted it?
DP was Constance Schmidt. She
Constance Schmidt,
made a
yep.
short film from Cannes in the same year when I was with my short film. I think we choose this type of storytelling in image because we would like to create tension, and also this apartment make a character. So we felt we shouldn't handheld and shake
Yeah.
the camera, and make more like maybe documentary style, maybe you know, like somebody is around the wall, and this maybe slower type of storytelling. It will be better to make a tension between these two persons in the apartment. So we tried, of course, different types, but we felt, I think it was the intuition. Sometimes it's worth to go through your intuition. So yeah,
Yeah, because like when you're watching it, like, you
Yeah.
know, it's very slow pace but creates a lot of tension, like, you know, as you said. So it's developing kind of anticipation also, like, you know, when you're watching the film.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know kind of a technical one also, like the aspect ratio. So you decided, like, you know, as an academic gate, like kind of like television 3:4 aspect ratio. Like why you wanted to like decide, like go.
Yeah. We decided because we would like to create out of frame space. I really like and also Constance Robert Bresson movies, where of course you have this aspect ratio, you know, academic, really small, but somebody, you know, go out from the frame and, you know, back. It's like, I don't know. It's really interesting for me.
Yeah, it's juxtaposed, with this happening in outside.
You can not showing what is in the corner, but you feel, you know, especially in the cinema. So again, it was intuition to choose this, you know, type of storytelling in image, because it will be better for this topic, for this apartment, for this story. So I think we would like to, you know, start out of frame space and give it the audience.
So it's like also, like, you know, when you're designing the shots, like you completely, like, you know, taken a decision to, like, you know, stay inside the house, right? So, like, what was the challenges, like, you know, when you're planning this and also when you're shooting this, like completely, like, you know, creating a universe within a small apartment?
I think the biggest challenge, it was we realize it's really hard to, you know, avoid boring in image. So we try to, even if we 90% of the movie stayed in apartment, make something in image, and also in the scenes, like script or between actors, to not make it boring, you know, for the audience, because it was the biggest challenge, I think. So script, I think, was longer. Many things we get rid of during editing, and we felt 80 minutes. It's right duration for this film, because first cut, I think it was pretty 2 hours, and it was really heavy experience to be in one apartment. So we get rid of a lot of scenes, you know, to make smaller but more tension films. So the boring, it was the biggest challenge in this film, probably.
Okay. So, like since you mentioned about the editing also, like, you know, it's like very carefully, like, you know, when you're watching the film, you don't feel like, you know, you need little more for the cut or little less for the cut, like very precisely, like, you know, made it. Like, what was your post-production process, and what was your discussion with the editor?
Yeah, editors, guys, it was Piasek and Bartek, and we made everything together still. In editing process, it was really interesting, because a lot of scenes we made in one from one angle.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
in editing,
Yeah,
they can only
exactly, yeah.
between the scenes make some shortcuts or cuts, but during the and inside of the scene, it was not too much material and too much angles. And of course, before the shooting, they know about it and really excited because it was the first film this type of editing
Right.
we made together. So as you said, in editing, it was like between the scenes, not exactly inside the scene
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
a lot of changes. And I consult the script before shooting with them, and it's like, you know, we discussed about the rhythm, about the tempo, about the type of editing. So we made the script after the talks with editing to make some kind of editing during the shooting, you know. So when we shoot the film with DP, of course we are thinking about editing also. So we a lot of editing we made during the shooting.
Yeah,
so.
because that actually reflects, because you have like well choreographed shots, and like, you know, your timing, it goes exactly for the, like, you know, cut.
Yeah.
So
And
with the character movement also.
Yeah, and also when I spoke with Constance, because she made Gentle Night by Chu Yang, a short
Right.
film from Ken, and also they worked the same type. They made a film and they editing only 2 days because everything was edited during the shooting,
Right.
because they choose this type of storytelling.
Okay, my last question is, like, you know, when you're working with the actors, like, you know, especially like, you know, Michael and then also Agnieszka, like this is her first film, and like she's a dancer, and like you have actually brought in certain movements, like, you know, choreographic movements. So did you want to, like, you know, cast a dancer for this one? Like, was there any reason for this?
I think no. First time it was like I was really open for actors, non-actors, and every time I would like to, you know, find the right person to this character. And it turns out Agnieszka, who is not a professional actor, but from the theater, from the performance arts and movement arts, she's the best for this role because she's very natural and also natural weird type of person.
Yeah.
So it was not acting, but she was there in this movie. So so I really like it that you know, I can make, and also it was first time work with non-actor, so I was really scared because I was like, oh my god, it's you know, yeah, it will be really tough because debut feature film and somebody who was not from the, you know, acting school or something, but it was really great because it was really fresh energy, you know, during the scenes. So
there was a like very interesting moment, like when she says like, I even iron my socks, and then she keeps the, like that's like a ballerina moment, like you know, like she keep the leg like that. So it reflects that kind of choreograph.
She's crazy, totally crazy in that good way for this movie and person. So fantastic.
And thank you so much for bringing the film, and the film is also in the competition, and you're doing a premiere here, and I wish you all the best for a great festival journey and a great release of the film.
Thank you.
And thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm really excited we can show this film here. So thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dhanushka signing out from PÖFF TV.